Yeah, so here we have console log the result whatever which we are getting. So instead of along with that, what we can do is we can show a alert message, like student added. Then also we can do something like also we can set these values to null. Side I'll make it as null. Yeah. So next, okay. So this much is done. So okay, so one more thing is this course name, right? So we have, okay, so in the index we'll change it as here we have it as USN, so I'll name it as CNAME. Then here also I'll change it to course name, and then okay, so I have it over here USN, so I'll name it as CNAME, and okay, so this thing is not needed. Then here I'll make it as again CNAME, and then CNAME. This the get student method, right? So okay, so here we'll create one more button. I'll name it as submit enter, it as show dot show data. So in here what I'll do is here I'll create this function called as show data. So this thing will, right, so same thing you can copy like so you will, first of all, you will take the contract, you will get an instance of it using dot deployed. So in that so first of all the values will be fetched and it will be stored in this val. So you can now use the val. So val dot the name of the thing is get student. Okay, so get student will take the parameter that is id. So id we have not passed. What we can do is okay, so same thing we can do like okay, in order to get, so let us take this sid and put it over here val sid. Okay, so whenever we want this we'll get it, and sid I'll pass it over here. Get student, get the sid. And so here what you need to do is, so since we are uh, like only calling the functions, right? So that therefore we are not spending any ethereum on it, we are not spending any, giving any transaction fees, so we are only reading it from the blockchain. That's why you need to use a function called as call over here. Then yeah, so then that will return you a result. So that result, it is show it on the screen first. So then okay, so data this thing. Okay, so okay, we type submit, and okay, I guess let me change it later. So well dot, okay, so let's see what is wrong over here. API, okay, so this thing we are getting well dot get student of sid is not a function. Okay, well dot get student dot call is not a function. So send get student dot call. Okay, so let me try without this, because right. So here okay, so we need not have that call. So I guess here we can directly just make use of get student dot sid, and then whatever result it gives, we'll just show it. So we did not make use of call. So here I gave the id as 1, so I'm getting this ron and csc. I don't remember, I guess 55 is a thing. Yeah, so 55 id I had entered Hagrid, and I'm getting it. Let me just enter a new, like 1 to 3, and then I'll enter then I'll submit. So this is basically adding the thing. Confirm, and then okay, which one is this? Okay, so that was the student added. Okay, right. So now 1 to 3 has been added. So now let's see 1 to 3 when I give like this. See, okay, so I'm getting the value over here, that is dd and this hgw. So yeah, so that thing I can display it over here. So let me just do it quickly. Along with that, I will change the name of this and also the other things which I have. Uh, so we are showing the values onto the console, right? So that's why what we can do is we can create a table, and in that we can display a value. So now let's in order to quickly create a table, so let's okay, so in the index.html I'll create a dummy table first, and then I can populate the data over there. So I'll use the table tag, and inside this I will first create a table row. So inside this I'll have a head. I'll name it as again student ID. I'll need three things: name and course name. Okay, so then I need one more row where I can actually store the data. So I'll just give it as hash. Okay, so then I'll give an ID. Just make it as ABC. Okay, so now let's see the table. Okay, so to add the border, let's go to the table, and in here border as 2 pixel solid black, and then okay, so let me bring it to center. So let me cover this entire thing in a div. Uh, Aligning it to the center, then okay, so yeah, so here okay, I'm not using a CSS, so you can use that also, but again I need to create a file and all those, so let's try to finish it over here only. Then I want to give a padding over here, so in the student ID row thing, so I'll use the style. So I want padding of 10 pixel around all the things. Copy this, then so let's see now. I guess it's okay. Then okay, so now these two buttons are there, so that I'll change. Right, so this is the submit button ID show, and then okay, so here instead of this you can give it as this value show data, and then instead of these two lines, okay, so let it be side by side. So yeah, so now you can see submit data and show data. Right, after this, okay, so after this we need to populate this thing. So go to the app.js. So in here in the show data, okay, so we are getting the value in this res, so that thing we need to show it over there. So I'll use this. I had I guess a dot okay, so I need to set the value to it. So a dot var, so inside this I'll pass res of I guess 0. 0 is the try, so I had 1 I guess. Okay, so okay, one may nothing is there. So res, okay, so this is the SID and this is 0 1. We give 2. Okay, 1 2 3 I had something. Yeah, 0 and this thing. Okay, uh okay, so this thing has to be changed to that. Here instead of using this val, what you can do is you can use something called as HTML. If I do show data, okay, so it should be small. If I do show data, you can see this value has been set over here. So yeah, so now instead of this thing, so from the rest you are having 0, so that you can set. And then similarly, okay, I guess there should be changes over here. Now I do 1 to 3 and show data. Yeah, so here you can see these things are there, but I need to make it proper. So this thing is the name and this thing is the course. Now okay, so B should be this, C should be this, then okay, so now here this thing should be your ID. So ID I have it in as ID that I'll pass. Okay, so now let's try 1 to 3 and then show data. Yeah, so you can see student ID this and this. Okay, so now we are done with this I guess. Yeah, so now we are done with the basic functionality, like we have inserted the data into the table, into the blockchain, and then we are able to retrieve the data also. So yeah, so now one more thing is, yeah, so now that's it. Now let us I'll change this thing to table data only. Let's see if it look bold. Okay. Okay, so now this is the thing. So now let me perform one last demo and then we'll wrap up. Okay. Okay, so now I'll give it an ID of 99. I'll give a name as and then I'll give it as right. So now I'll click on submit data. Okay, so let me recheck it out first. Submit data. I click on confirm. So student has been added. So 99 is the thing. Okay, so this thing is not getting erased. uh, that's one thing we need to do. Okay, so if I go to app.js, okay, so here after all that, so we should clear it. So you cannot use sid because sid is storing this value, so that's why I'll use this thing again. sid, so inside this value I'll pass it as my. Okay, so that was one thing left, and I'll type it one last time. Okay, yeah, so now this has been cleared, so now I'll show data like 100. Yeah, so and if I click on show data, you can see student ID is this, and the student name is this, and the course name is this. So similarly, I had 99. I'll show that. Okay, so the same thing is there. Now I had I guess 123. So 23 was this. So if I go to the Ganesh and if I go to blocks, so here you can see a lot of blocks have been added, and in the blocks, this thing you can see events and all those. Yeah, so this was about basic Dapp which I had built.